I'll never forget the day the drum stopped. It was a hot evening, and the whole village had gathered by the river for the festival. Everyone was singing and dancing, the drums beating so loud you could feel them in your chest. But then, out of nowhere, the drumming stopped. That never happens. We all turned to see what was going on, and there he was, Tunde, stumbling out of the bushes, dirty and thin, like he hadn't eaten in days. Tunde had left our village 2 years ago, chasing big dreams in the city. He was so sure of himself. Why stay here when the world is waiting for me? He said. At first, we heard good things. He found work, made friends. But then, the letters stopped. People said he'd gotten into trouble, hanging with the wrong crowd, drinking, stealing. And now, here he was, standing in front of all of us, looking so small and broken. His mother was the first to move. She ran to him, threw her arms around him, and started crying. I'll never forget what she said. You're home. That's all that matters. You're home. But not everyone was happy. Some people whispered, why is she welcoming him? He shamed us. Others just stood there, watching, arms crossed. That's when Baba Adi, the oldest man in the village, stood up. His voice was strong. Even though he was so old, he said, do you remember the story of the lost goat? We all knew the story. A man had a goat that ran away. He searched high and low, and when he found it, he threw a feast to celebrate. Someone asked, why are you so happy about one goat when you have so many others? And the man said, because this one was lost, but now it's found. Baba Ade looked around and said, Tunde is that goat. He was lost, but now he's found. Shouldn't we celebrate? It was quiet for a moment. Then, one of the drummers picked up his stick and started playing again. Slowly the others joined in. Tunde's mother took his hand and led him to the circle. People started dancing again, and just like that, the celebration continued. Later that night, I saw Tunde sitting with Baba Ade by the fire. He looked like a little boy again, listening as Baba Ade spoke softly to him. I don't know what he said, but from that day, Tunde was different. He stayed in the village, helping his mother, working hard, and treating everyone with kindness. Whenever I think about that day, I remember two things. The way his mother held him, like she'd never let go, and the sound of the drums starting up again. It reminds me that no one is too far gone to come home, and there's always a reason to celebrate when they do. What do you think?